So we got Dale on the line. Hello, Dale. Welcome to the David Carrier Show.
Morning. I'm a client. I was wondering,
Yeah.
I'm going down the road. I
You,
run a stop sign. I hit somebody. They're injured. They Bernstein up. Does my trust protect me at all?
yeah, you've got the. I'm guessing you've got the protection trust, right? Right.
Yes.
You get the two trust system, so that we're getting we're right. We're triggering the 5 year period. That sound familiar?
I'm past that. I'm well past that.
Oh yeah. But you got that trust. That's the trust that you got, right?
Yeah.
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 So that's why
Am
we
I
do that.
am I protected?
Yeah.
I am protected.
Yeah.
You've had experience, and it does protect people.
Well, so far we haven't had anybody who actually challenged it. I mean, we've had some demand letters, right? And we said go away, and
Okay.
they went away, or they accepted the insurance limits. That's the experience that we've had so far. Some of the things, well, no. Here's I take that back because we have used these trusts like in divorce situations and in not an auto accident case because you're asking that specifically, but we've had challenges um, where the trusts that go to the kids, right? The trusts that go to the kids were challenged by the Department of Corrections, by divorce attorneys and stuff like that. Um, but that's after you're gone. You're asking what about immediately, right? And there,
That's
that's what I
right.
said. That's what I was talking about. I was just thinking, well, wait a second now. We've had these, we've been put through the ringer on some of these, but only on the only when it goes to the kids, right? I mean, but um, the trust is set up so that your assets are protected. Now we know that it works. It's treated as the assets are not available for the Medicaid. We know that that works. I mean, we've done that hundreds of times. Um, the but
Yeah.
we haven't had a lot of people running stop signs into the school bus. We haven't had a lot of that. We've had some of it with landlords, who are holding rental properties in the trust, so it's worked for that. But again, we haven't had the knockdown, drag out, unlimited budget fight like we have had with the kids trusts with the we just haven't had it because
Mhm.
frankly, it makes no sense to do it, right? I mean, nobody wants to, so far at least, nobody's wanted to invest the money to fight it that hard. Generally, if you have that issue, they go away, which is what you want. You don't just soon not do that. But yeah, but that's why we do the trust, and now that they've changed the rules on the insurance so that if you hit a motorcycle, it's presumptively your fault, and cut back on the medical coverage, which opens you to liability, opens drivers to more liability. It's just another reason to do it. Now, the thing is, with any and I think this is important to realize as well. When you get into, well, let's just say corporations, for example. So corporations been around since the Mayflower, before then, right? But here in America since the Mayflower in the 1600s. So we've had corporations that provided, and LLCs, right, that provided protection. But a judge can always say, "Oh, I'm going to pierce the corporate veil. You didn't keep the records right, or you didn't file this report, or they can find a way, and usually it involves fraud generally is the way that they do it. So if you look at the cases where a court avoided, not a trust, but avoided a corporation, the way, or an LLC, limited liability company, limited partnership, usually there was some fraud involved in setting up the corporation or the partnership or what have you. They did other things wrong as well, generally speaking. But the one common thread is that the corporate form was used to perpetrate a fraud. So analogously, if you're not using the trust for fraud, you've got reasons, real reasons for doing it, like long-term care protection, asset protection, all the rest of this stuff, right? There's no reason for the court to do that. But, you know, we live in a, I'll give you an example. God, it's got to be 15, 20 years ago that there was a Dow Chemical. There was Dow Corning, which is the parent, as I recall. Dow Corning was the parent company. Dow Chemical was the subsidiary, right? And I think we got a minute left. Anyway, the point is that this was the silicone breast implant thing, right? And it was causing damage to women who had the implants. And it was Dow Chemical that made the implants. And they Michigan court pierced the corporate veil and put Dow Corning into bankruptcy. Okay, well, it took 3 years for the Court of Appeals to say, no, you shouldn't have done that. Okay, so that's if you want to know the real world, that's the real world. Okay, now, eventually you got justice out of it, but I just want to say, even though you have the structures that are set up correctly, right, we're in a world where a judge can do a lot of different things. So the more protection you have, the better off you are. But there is no magic wand.